Makes sense. Did you see David Dobrik got cancelled?
Yes. Good topic. All right, let's dig into it. Hey guys, this is episode 28 of The Flip Side. Glad to be back. We're missing one man. As you guys saw from the last episode, Stephen Nguyen has left us. How you feel, Christian?
He's gone. Goodbye, Stephen. I wonder if he'll ever listen. Well, if you are listening, goodbye, Stephen. If you aren't, I mean, no, there's nothing I can't say anything about. He helped us a lot. He was a good kid, but for now, I don't know. He's gone. Miss you, Stephen. Miss you. We won't hear about any of his adventures anymore. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll get him on later. We'll have to see. But yeah, he's gone. It's back to how it started. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. So how's your week been?
Pretty good. I was gonna just talk about how joining this call, Christian, you seem pretty upbeat, you seem alive. I don't know if it's a fresh car, but you seem like you're in a good, upbeat mood. How's everything been?
It's been, work was pretty crap. I just thought, you know what, just put it behind, just go wash my face, came back, I'm ready. Otherwise I'd just be a bit tired, but it doesn't matter, we move on. Got to think about positives. I lost Malty this morning, but it's okay. It's okay with me. How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. I think last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I grinded so hard. I was working 12-hour days. I was trying this thing where in my mind I was like, let's turn life into a game and let's just grind 24/7. I was like, if I'm bored, let's just get a task done, and that's better than relaxing. And as a result, I just crashed. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just freaking watched 10 hours of Attack on Titan, after season 3, went from season 0, slept so late, freaking had no routine, went wakeboarding, went out to eat, and I just
wakeboarding.
Yeah, I think maybe it was the beginning of last week or something.
Okay, yeah.
So there was no routine. I was just burnt. Not burnt, but I was just no motivation. So now I've gone back to, I've taken it to the extreme. I'm just working a lot. Now I'm taking it back to just getting the 5 things done a day. And usually it's actually really easy to get 5 things done. I've gotten pretty good at it, implementing things such as putting my phone away, implementing things like focusing, and I've been able to just knock out the 5 things a day and just have a lot of time to do nothing. And I actually literally don't know, after this I'm finished and I'm what do I do from 7:30 to 12 p.m? So I think I'm embracing that free time, embracing watching and having entertainment guilt-free, and sleeping early.
Yeah, definitely. Sleep early is a huge thing, especially because, but anyway, it's the 23rd of March at the moment, and for the past week, Sydney have had absolute shit weather, torrential storms. It's just been rough. It's just, you can't really do much either because it's just raining, and it's just, you can't really go anywhere. I don't know, it's just been heavy rains, a lot of flooding. Thoughts and prayers to those affected, but you can't do much anyway. That's the thing, right? So this past week you've just been at home, you just consume so much content, you just sit there and watch so much Netflix, you just can't do anything. You can't.
I legit turn on my Netflix and then just lie down, and then literally 4 hours later, oh shit, 4 hours just went by. It's insane.
It's a trap. It's a black hole. Once you enter, you can't finish it 100%. Because when I'm at work, I work from home, right? So I'm sitting here in the position I'm in. I have my work laptop in front of me. I have my tablet to my right, and then I have my monitor. So I have 3 screens, right? 2 of which I use for work, and my tablet just runs Netflix. It's not good, but every day for the past couple of weeks, I think I've just watched 19 episodes of The Office in a day, 6 hours straight of The Office. It's just on. It's just on it's just for me, it's the perfect show for background noise, background music, or just background show, because I can enjoy it and still laugh along with the jokes and everything, but still be doing my work. It's just, I've cracked it. I've just lost 19 episodes of The Office a day. I love it. It's so good.
You got the formula down where you just constantly stimulated by this show, and it counters the destimulation
Of
from
work.
your work, and you're just like baseline.
Yeah,
Baseline.
I just basically like I still work hard and everything, but like it's more so that it's just like if I don't have it, it's weird because I feel like when I'm working, I can get stressed based on like just stupid shit, or like I can feel a little bit anxious and I can feel like, okay, I gotta work hard, I gotta keep doing it. But if I have it on the back, I feel a lot more like chilled out and like relaxed, and I'm still working hard, but it's just going at the same time, and I'm just like, doing my stuff, and it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. It just works, and I'm happy that I finally found it works. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I finish it, because when I finish it, it's just gonna be like, well, now what do I do? There's nothing else I can do, because you can't watch anime. I won't understand what's going on. I need to watch it.
Yeah. Dude, when I'm eating noodles and like watching anime is so hard because you go down to like get the noodle and then you can't listen, you have to read. And it's so hard to watch anime when you have something that is like soup based. I don't know if it's just me because like usually with rice, you can look up and the rice stays there, goes into your mouth. But with soup, you have to look down and shit. And like, I can't watch anime while doing soup.
Eating soup is like, it's like a high maintenance sort of food that you need to eat. But like, no, you should just eat it the way like they always eat in anime. Just like get a piping hot bowl of soup and just go, and just suck it all like that. And they don't even think about it. They just go, whoa. You should do that, and then you can just keep watching.
Yeah, dude, talking about work, I've noticed like when I would just like work from 9 to 5, go hard 2 or 3 days, eventually you just like each day you're just less and less motivated and less like burnt out. And like the thing is, if I go hard, I could knock out a whole day's worth of things by 1 or 2 p.m. and I'll have the day off and I could chill early so I could be recovered tomorrow because I worked hard. But the crazy thing is, in your situation, no matter how hard you work, you still gotta finish at 5 p.m.
Yep.
So that means, like, that's the former Christian. The Christian is to like, find the balance where you have enough time to recover from 5 p.m. till 8 a.m. the next morning, where you just did like the bare enough amount of work where you have enough time to recover as well.
Yeah, because I feel like if you do heaps of work during the day between the 9 to 5, it's so hard for you to recover because you immediately just get exhausted. And there's so many days where even though I'm working from home, I'll just go straight into bed and just go to sleep. Like, it's not good, but that's what happens. But like now, like, got this new formula going. I don't know, I'll see. Gonna try and be a little bit more active. The sun's shining today. Well, you can't see me home, but it came out today at 5 p.m, chilling. Might go gym, do something. But yeah, even from last week, we said, like, gotta try and do something, like, as much as you can. Otherwise, you can just easily just feel like you're just, like, doing nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much time. Like, yeah, like, I need to find something to do other than work, like I want those days off. Like, I'll just work so hard and it's just like, oh, okay, I want a day off. I want that, but like, just not there yet. It's just not there yet. Just not possible yet.
Christian, have you thought about like how come no one in Sydney or anyone in our age group applies for like those tech companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft in Sydney? Like all those companies have companies, or Apple headquarters in Sydney. Why is that not a thing? So I was talking to this friend I just met, and she works in Google's amazing amenities, free health insurance, food, golden handcuffs, she calls it. It's so amazing that it's tougher to leave. And it's pretty hard to get in, I think. But like, everyone's striving for Deloitte, JP Morgan, all these big 4 companies. No one talks about these amazing tech companies. What's up with that? And with these tech companies, I heard she was telling me it's like a lot of young people, and they hire everyone from like people who have marketing degrees to even law degrees.
Yeah, like with any organization, there'll be different divisions and functions that you can apply to within, right? So like Google will have a legal division, they'll have a marketing division, they'll have, everything, right? But it's more so that people want to work in those companies, but what they do is they go to these other big name organizations like your Big 4 professional services, your Deloitte, your PwCs, or, your JP Morgan. They'll stay there for 1 or 2 years. They'll work hard. They'll get either further education. And then after they've worked hard for 2-3 years, they can show other employers, hey, look, I've worked hard. I have all these qualifications. I've got industry level, like highest quality possible training that you can possibly get is from those organizations. They essentially just get used and abused for 3 years. Then they go to employers like in industry, being tech companies, and be like, I've got world-class training for 3 years. I'm ready. And then they go to those companies, and then they go to the Apples, the Samsungs, or and then they say like, I am ready. And then they have the good life. I applied for Microsoft the other day. I got rejected the next stage.
But Microsoft is pretty big, so I think
they're huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I wonder what they look for, because I know you go on LinkedIn and you can see a few people that work there, but it's like those people are like quite top tier. You know what I mean? It's like,
wow. So that means getting into Google, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung is harder than getting into Deloitte, Commonwealth Bank, Big Four, JPC.
Yeah, I would personally say, because when you're applying for those places, they look for something unique. They don't look for in the Big Four, they look for good grades, some decent experience, any previous internships. These places, they'd look for character building. They'd look for just something that stands out in a resume that's different from the stock standard. Imagine they get 100 resumes from just standard people, just be work experience, job, this, that. But they want someone who's probably just a weird resume, just something different. You know what I mean? That's I'm not that sort of person.
Eccentric person.
Yeah, eccentric. They're looking for
an Attack on Titan. All the Survey Corps are eccentric people.
Yeah. The talented, they're the ones that with more promise. You know what I mean?
Crazy people.
But that's the end goal for me. Working in one of those big tech companies, 100% the end goal for me. 100%. I don't care about anything else, bro. I just want to work in one of those big tech companies. That's the goal.
In your resume, co-host of The Flip Side, co-host of a podcast show.
I don't know why you're laughing.
I would actually they'll be like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, I don't know why you're laughing. It's on my resume.
Yeah, I think it's good. I was laughing just in case that was something you might be embarrassed to share about. But I'd actually fuck with it. I think that's something that's really good for your resume.
100%. I don't have co-host of the Flip Side podcast. I just have podcast host.
Yes.
As my extracurricular or something. I haven't really told many people this, but I recently redid my resume. But yeah, it's on there. It's it's different.
Even linking the anchor link, be podcast, they just link it there. People will be like, whoa, this is interesting. This guy's a podcast host.
Yeah. Oh, I could actually link the full anchor link, but I'm following this template where it's only 1 page resume, and it's so hard to fit everything in 1 page, especially if you've been working for so long at so many different places. It's so hard, but it's still there 100% because it's something that, yeah, you're 100% right. It differentiates you. It keeps you but at the same time, you don't know what recruiters do in terms of the screening process. It's so crazy. What would you look for that would be different if you had hundreds of resumes come through? What would say you personally? You know what I mean? It's so hard.
So luckily, I have a recruiter to deal with all that. But if
that's the thing, right? But even then, right? It's it at the end of the day, it comes down to whoever's looking at your resume and what they feel about you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's interesting.
Because I do want to is there a chance that gems just slipped through because the recruiter just didn't feel like that person had potential?
I think 100%. I think 100% because even then, I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I think I'll work harder than a lot of other people. 100%. You know what I mean? And those ethics and those personal morals you don't see from a piece of paper at a person. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, but yeah, it's weird. I feel quite strongly about this topic. You know what I mean? It's very interesting.
Working at Google would be so good. Right now, every time I go to a party or people our age, everyone's pumping their chest out saying, "Yeah, I work at Combank. I work at this bank, this Deloitte." Imagine if you just come out and just say, "Yeah, I work at Google." That's the biggest flex ever.
That would, yeah.
I work at Google.
Exactly.
I think the everyday person flexes they own a Mercedes or BMW. But if you come out and say, I have a Ferrari, that's what Google is.
Yeah.
It's so far that people don't even talk about it. That's why I'm well, why doesn't anyone talk about going into Google? It's just that far off, I guess.
for me, it's Google, Amazon, Apple, Samsung.
Yes.
Like if I worked at one of those companies, because like I didn't work for GoPro, but like I kind of had dealings with GoPro. Like I was working externally, but even then, it was like kind of cool. Like I don't know, like there's some part of me that quite enjoyed that job being like a brand ambassador, but at the same time, like I couldn't do that job for a long time. Like there's a guy that I used to work with that I follow on Instagram now. Like he's super sick. Like he had the same role as me, and like, but he was like actually like a photographer and a professional filmmaker. And so like he was the same role as me and he'd get paid the same, but like it was his passion and everything. So like he actually started working with GoPro a lot more closely, and like he started doing a lot more promotions for GoPro. Like he shot some sick videos, and like he wasn't just like in my role where I saw it as a job, I'd just go out and do certain things, but like he'd be helping and working on marketing, promoting, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, 100%. I feel like working at Google, Amazon, I'm going on here, but I knew a guy that did an internship with me. Like I met him on the first day, and on the second day, no one heard from him, and no one heard from him the week after. And I was like, where'd that guy go? Like, we just saw him at the meet and greet. He left. Turns out we checked his LinkedIn afterwards. Bro, intern at Amazon. Intern at Amazon. Like, why would every single person in the world would 100% do the same thing that he did? Just drop his internship at a big four professional services firm and just go to Amazon. I can't blame him. I do not blame him. You know what I mean?
Dude, I think that's the move, because right now everyone's driving around in a BMW, Mercedes. You just pull up with the Ferrari. You need to pull up with the freaking big four tech companies. That's what it's about. I think for sure in America, people only talk about the big four tech companies. They don't talk about any of these JP Morgans, these banks. In America, everyone's just talking about. And coming from America, I was like, why is no one talking about those companies here? Everyone's just one. We've just been built in a way where big four always sound cooler. We just don't know about it. And two, it's just hard to get into tech companies, I guess.
100%, it's harder. But at the same time, like, you got to think about it in two different ways, right? Like, you're saying that people don't really care about, like, finance companies or big four professional services firm, but at the same time, the American stock market is the biggest stock market in the world, where it's got the most openly traded stocks and companies, right? And the finance side in America is fucking huge. Like, you're forgetting that as well. The number of investment banks, boutique investment banks, venture capitalist firms, private equity firms, right? They're huge. The market is still huge, but Silicon Valley is so much more prominent in America that it's such a, like, it's more of a goal that they want to attain there. Whereas here, yeah, there is interest in tech firms here, but there's no Silicon Valley. There's no like hub of just pure tech fanatics, people that are fanatics about that stuff. You know what I mean? Whereas there, they have both. They have the Wall Street versus Silicon Valley. They have two of the biggest heavyweights in the world. And yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like, oh, I'd love to work in America, bro. Like, but the pay is like dog compared to here. But like, oh god,
it's crazy how the pay is so low and the degree cost for your degrees is so high. It just doesn't make sense. So that means you have to work. It's like squared. Not only do you have to work more to make up for the lower pay, but to work squared that more just to pay off your more expensive degree.
I did not know the tuition costs in America were that high as they are. Like, I couldn't believe it, because the culture there is you got to move out, you have to board. And then that alone is like so expensive. And then the cost it's a mortgage. You have a mortgage. You don't have a student loan. That's a mortgage. That's why like everyone there is talking about, oh, student loans are paying off student loans. And over here, everyone's literally just kicked back, feet on the chair, no stress at all. Because here it's only 4-year degree, 45K. That's nothing. That's literally nothing. And the government subsidizes it all, where you can just pay it off in increments and literally just pay it off as you die. You know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it? The complete shift in just everything.
Like, us complaining about like how expensive houses are is actually so little, because like we were complaining about like a 700 grand house loan. Dude, they have a freaking 400 grand degree that they have to pay off. Like, that's shit.
That's the thing. They have a mortgage in the form of a student loan. Their student loan is a mortgage. But in saying that, the house prices there are a lot cheaper in comparison to the house prices here.
That's true.
And I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the memes. Like, you can look up a 5-bedder house in Texas. You can literally own your. And if you went to Texas, you'd be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be living like a millionaire. Sorry, you'd be living like a millionaire.
Maybe that's why Australian house prices are so expensive. Like, I remember this lady was asking, why is houses so expensive in Australia? I didn't know the answer. This might be one of the answers, because it makes sense how the cost of our houses plus the cost of our degrees add up to the same cost of American houses plus the cost of their degrees. Like, their degree might cost 400 grand plus a house costs 300 grand. That's 700 grand. Our houses might cost like 650.
Yeah.
And our degree costs 50 and it's 700.
Exactly. And it's all to do with like the cost of living as well. Like, you see it there, the cost of living there compared to here is a lot less. Like, it's literally cheaper for people. Like, it all ties in. The reason for low unemployment rate is because of high student loans, right? The reason for cheaper houses and like, well, it depends on where you are, obviously, right? But like, the predominant reason for cheaper houses is because like high student loans, low demand, whatever. And you go on from there, is like the cost of living is so much smaller. It's cheaper for people to just live off fast food in America than it is for them to buy fresh food and groceries. And because of that, the obesity levels are extremely high. And because of that, they're like a aging population and they're an unhealthy population. And then it's all a cycle. It's all connected. You know what I mean? But yeah, 100%. Like,
dude,
it's all connected.
That over time, with economy of scales, food is going to get so cheap that it doesn't make sense for you to cook anymore. Like, literally, you could probably buy a meal for as cheap as $5 because things are just so optimized. Everyone is just doing one task where it's just like everything just becomes so cheap. Like, I think that's possible because we already see that. Like, the best example, $5 value pizzas. What the fuck? That's the biggest steal ever. For $5, I can't even get that full cooking my own meal. Like, as close as I get. Actually, technically, with $5, you can buy a whole loaf of bread plus peanut butter, and that'll last you for like 2 weeks. So maybe I'm wrong there. But eventually, pizzas are just going to get cheaper and cheaper until they're like $1.
You know what? I like 100% agree with you, because you're seeing, like, we talked about it before, but we didn't really go into this sort of detail. We said like it's more cost effective and time effective to have your meals ordered for you, as opposed to, you know, taking time out of your day, go shop, buy the ingredients, buy the groceries, come home, prepare the food, cook the food, present the food, eat the food, compared to the time saved by buying a $13 thing. However, in this situation, you're 100% right. You have the option to order a $5 large pizza, which is going to fill you up. You're not going to finish that pizza by yourself. Maybe you can, right? And, well, yeah, fine, pizzas are completely just bread. It's just made of carbs. It's all bread, right? But you're going to be filled up. Why would anyone want to go out and spend $13 on like a freshly cooked meal, just say meat and 3 veg, which will cost them at least like buying the meat, buying the 3 veg, then cooking all of that together? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense for it to be purchased. But you're 100% right, especially with all the things coming out, like, you know, My Marshall Chef, and then you have Hello Food or Hello Fresh, and then you got, what is it, Light and Easy. You got all these things coming up where every month you just pay a subscription-based fee and you can get all these cooked and professionally prepared food to your door. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
To bring it back to hiring people, something that I've learned is like, you get to a certain level where it's all about hiring smarter people than you. Like, literally, like, how rich people get richer is they just get money and just hire smart people. Like, for example, when Steve Jobs wanted to build the Apple stores, he would just look for someone who designed beautiful stores such as, I don't know, I think he hired someone that designed Louis Vuitton stores or something. He was like, I like your stores, come here, build my Apple stores. He liked the way that Stanford's trees were planted and their mix of trees. So he tracked down who was their planter or planters or person who plants trees in Stanford, and hired that person to plant trees in the Apple world, the Apple home or the Apple whatever you call it. So eventually, like I'm starting to notice that like whenever I'm struggling with something, just hire someone that's just much better than me at it. Like I'm starting to get past that point where I have enough money and experience to just hire people who are better than me at it and just let them do it. And since I already have the whole system, when I plug them in, it just makes money.
It makes great. That's how a business is able to operate. Like you don't have like a huge conglomerate like Amazon, Apple, Samsung, whatever, without the owner just being like, yeah, see, just give me the best of the best and then just chuck them all in a room together. Greatness is going to ensue. It's just impossible. If it doesn't ensue, then there's a lot of deeper lying problems in there, right? But like, yeah, like you want gold. Just go get yourself 3 gold miners and you can go get yourself gold. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do a single thing.
The best metaphor is imagine if you were I forgot what they call it, but like the project or team manager of a basketball team. And I think for like Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, there was like this fat guy. I forgot the name of the actual position. But your goal is to just like bring talented people together, move pieces around like a chessboard, and that's the role of a CEO or business owner. Finding the chess pieces, moving them around, and I'm starting to get to that point because for the first half of this marathon, you do everything yourself. You hire people and you train them up yourself. You teach people everything and no one's teaching you jack shit. And then you get past a phase where now you're hiring people smarter than you, people who can do a better job than you at your job. Like my sales rep, my sales team, they're better than sales at me now. And that's where I want to get, where every single role, I just hire people that are better than me and I just know a bit of everything. I think that's sort of what a CEO is. He just knows a bit of everything.
You should have those people in play already. Like it's good. You see with your sales team, they can get numbers in better than you. They can do better, and that's what you want. You don't want to, you're not going to grow. You're not going to go anywhere if you have a team that's incompetent. You know what I mean? Like that's just the thing with everything. And it's like, yeah, what you said is true. It's like a chess game. Like it's all strategy. You got to find the best people, find the best moves for the best people as well, right? So like it's like you got to find the best. You have to have the best recruitment strategy to bring in the right talent at the right time, at the right price, and then nurture them, grow them, feed them water, and watch them grow.
And then when you have to go through the first grind to build something that is worth it for them to stay. Because the question is, like, if I was like a VR, like, how the hell do I attract these people to my life? Well, you have to build an amazing company, and you have to be really talented yourself. But two, like, what I learned, because in my mind's like, if they're better than me, why wouldn't they just go ahead and do that thing on their own? A lot of these talented people want to just do what they want to do. They want to be plugged into a system where all they have to do is just focus on marketing and you handle the rest. But they're going to be a beast at marketing. It's like a chess, like a rook can't do shit on its own, but within the whole setup, it can flourish. And that's what people who are better than you would work for you.
And that's why people like that with passions and desires go out, they get their tertiary education, they get their degree, they come back, they got a degree, and they want to focus on what they got their degree in. You know what I mean? Like it's come back full circle now, because now you have, you can't have that guy's not going to be able to start a business on his own because he's just studied so long and did a degree on it. He's focused himself, he's dedicated his time and energy into learning this craft. They're just going to eventually just focus on it. You know what I mean? Like it just makes sense now. Everything's just opening up now for you, right? Like you can just see it. It's all happening. Yeah. It just makes sense, because you don't want to get some random person who wants to start getting into sales into your business. You want someone who's proven track record, right? Like with anything, it goes without saying. You want some experience.
Exactly, and that might make sense why Google and Facebook have such a tough hiring process. Like they don't want to train someone up from scratch. They've gotten to a point, they've passed that fulcrum point where they can now pick and choose talented people. They have enough funds to hire and pay and keep those talented people. and they skip that whole grinding process. Because what I found is that training a employee from ground up is worth it if they don't leave. If they leave, if they lost.
100%. Like
so that's what Google and Amazon does. They're technically imparting losses onto where that employee came from, and they're just like they're just stealing. They're just jumping.
They're poaching. They're just poaching the right people at the right time, and then that's what they have to do. Like at the end of the day, it's that's why a lot of companies are really hesitant to let people go, because they know that they have someone good on their hands. But if a sad employee, you can't force them to stay. You force someone to stay and you block their move, they can just put their hands up and not do any work. Like there's, it's one of those things. But it's interesting, isn't it, how it all works? Because now you're able to see it, like it all play into your chessboard.
And it becomes a scary monopoly. For example, like imagine basketball team like the Golden State Warriors when they're just on a winning streak, or like let's say the best basketball team has all the best players. They don't have to hire any rookies. They could just let all the other teams train up rookies and push them. Hey, do you want to play for the best team? Here's double the salary. And then all these other teams that are forced to take on rookies and training them up from scratch, the moment they start seeing returns from the rookie, they lose them.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Okay, so like an example is in the German football league, soccer league, there's two teams. Well, there's the best team in German football, Bayern Munich, right? So they're so good. Their team is full of superstars, right? What they do is every season they see a player doing really well in the German league. They go to that small club, be like, here's $50 million, give me your player. And the German club is just going to be like, yes, sick, $50 million, let's go. And they're just going to take the money, you know what I mean? And they do that every year. They just poach all the really good, talented youngsters. They let them develop into the league, so they've, got experience playing in the league. Let them develop. Once they've developed and showcase their talents, they buy them and they turn them into monsters. And they turn into, like, it's the same with any sort of sport, if you think about it, any commercialized sport. That's where the sport becomes a business, because at the end of the day, you have shareholders that are pumping money into the business. Shareholders want to see results. How do you get results? You win titles. How do you win titles? You have to have the best possible team. How do you have the best possible team? Poach all the best talent in the team. How do you poach all the best talent? Just go up to them and buy them. And then that's how you deliver results, meet expectations. And it happens everywhere, bro. Like, it's crazy now I'm thinking about it. Like, it's all linked. It happens everywhere. Just poach the best talent, get them on a cheap.
Monopoly.
Shop.
And now I'm thinking, like, it's so hard that, for example, like the Big Four or like the Big Four tech companies, they're just like all competing, or they're just all stealing from the same pool of like Deloitte graduates or like these small tech firms, and they're just like all stealing and poaching from the same pool. And they're pretty scared to like poach from each other because it's pretty hard. And they already spend so much money to keep their employees happy. Like, what's the step above? And the first thing that came to my mind is like Elon Musk selling this dream, selling the ability to change the world, selling the ability to end up being the CEO of one of his companies. Like, Elon Musk doesn't want to keep the Tesla. He wants to have someone take over. And Elon Musk has all these crazy ideas. That is something that's crazy enough to take someone away from Apple, Google, Samsung, Microsoft to work for this crazy Elon Musk messiah, because he's just thinking so out of this world. And like, that's someone that's poaching from the monopolies, I reckon. I don't know, Elon Musk is happy with that, but yeah.
I think 100% makes sense. 100% makes sense. Whereas I saw an interview with him where he was like, he doesn't care if you went to college or not. He thinks that obviously for certain practices within, say, Tesla, SpaceX, you need to be an aeronautical engineer. You need to be skilled in rocket science and everything, right? But like, he doesn't care if you went to college or not. But yeah, 100%. I feel like from there, but I don't see any other companies that are kind of like sort of thinking out of the world and out of the box in that sense, and have so much money coming in to be able to like hire people as well. Like, I can't think of anything.
Exactly. I think the next move is for some company, because like everyone's done the free food, free cafeteria, free massages, free like come to work, whatever you want. Like, imagine if some company gets as crazy as work at your home, holiday whenever you want. Just like, I don't know, there's going to be something that's crazy. People because like eventually that's going to be something that people have to do. Or like if I want to grow studying.com to that next level, eventually I'm going to have to learn how to like take players from the big dogs. Right now I don't have to worry about that. So how it came to this topic was because I was talking to someone from a Google employee, and she wants to do something different. She wants to run her own thing. So I'm trying to get her into studying.com. And so ironically, that's happening, and we just talked about that. But yeah, eventually, like I want to build something. Like that's not something I have to think about anytime soon. But eventually, I'm gonna have to freaking be like a messiah, like an Elon Musk, where your dream is just so crazy, and people really understand what you're trying to do, and they're like, "All right, like I want to like jump on that ship, even if I'm like the 1,000th employee." That's gonna still be way better than being the 5th employee in Facebook. Like it has to be some crazy thing, because like that's the thing. Like being 10th in Facebook is better than being 1st or 2nd in Deloitte.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, to get to where you want to be and to get the talented individuals, you need to sell your vision.
Exactly.
Because if you can't sell your vision, if you can't sell your vision to someone and like be enthusiastic at the same time about it and like be really interested and like passionate as hell about it, they're not gonna want to like. They're just gonna be like, okay. But if you're passionate, enthusiastic, and everything, like, and really be able to sell your vision, know your vision, and like just fucking all you do is just dream about the vision and just it's the vision of your company, right? They'll be more motivated, they'll be more interested, they'll be more keen to like, you know, get to know you more and get to know the business more, and, you know, inclined to be able, okay, look, maybe this is something huge. We could really do something here if we do it huge. And I guess that's the startup story of so many of the greatest companies in the world, right? Like they had this vision. And so like, if you want to land these people, you need to like, obviously A, start scaling, and then B, the vision, bro. You got, it's all about the vision of the company. And then you got this, and then you hire some people from Google, then in studying.com.
Talking about passion, I've noticed that for example, my like head of sales, he's passionate about sales. He lives and thrives in sales. He's always thinking of different ways to improve. Like I was like, holy crap, this was a completely different type of hire than training someone from the ground up about sales and they're just showing up on time, doing what you ask. This is a whole different breed of employee. And so same with this girl from Google. I was just talking about marketing. She was into it. She was able to answer all my questions. She was talking about like CPAs, conversions, top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel. And I was able to like parlay and really, you know, she was really into marketing. And I definitely need someone for marketing because I can't do marketing for the rest of my life. Hiring passionate people, I think that's sort of what I've noticed reading all these CEO biographies. They just like interview people, they question the hell out of them. The moment they can tell they're passionate, they recruit them and they try to give them whatever they want and push the hell out of them to join their company and join their vision. And usually, if you're having a passionate conversation with the founder, you want to also work with the founder.
Yeah, 100%. And it just goes without saying, like, if you can feel that they're passionate about it, it's honestly stupid for you not to go ahead with them because you know that the output that you're going to get from them is going to be tenfold compared to people that you've start up and train. And like, I'm assuming that those people that you had, I hope you don't have these people in your sales team anymore where like you've trained them up from the start and like it's just been such an arduous process because it's like you have to kick them in the behind, whereas people are passionate about it, they're chasing those numbers, they're chasing the commission. You need a Dwight Shrewt. You know Dwight Shrewt from The Office? Dwight?
The guy with the glasses, Dwight.
Yeah. You need a Dwight Shrewt on your team. Someone who just
you're right.
Someone who lives, breathes, and snorts sales in the form of coke. He's just sales, and they're just deadly passionate about it. Because once you have those people, but then the key is you get those people, then you have to keep them motivated. And how do you keep them motivated? Employee motivation is a whole different thing. You know what I mean? Because I started off as passionate. Well, I'm passionate about anything as long as I got money, right? But like it's like employee motivation is another one that you're just gonna have to like, because if you don't keep them motivated, they're just gonna be like, nah, sack this. I'm just gonna, just jump ship. Then they'll go to the other places where they feel like there's more ambition and there's more promise. You know what I mean? So it's a cycle. It's a cycle of an employee.
I agree. And like I couldn't attract and have the systems for the current head of sales if I didn't build it together with those other sales reps that were friends, that we built it up from scratch and we got all the systems. And at the time, that's all I knew. Like I thought that was normal. Like for example, when I first hired my first VA, do the same mistakes, let her know. A week later, second reminder. A month later, happens again. A month later, happens again. I thought that was normal. I thought employers were supposed to be forgetful when repeating mistakes. Then I hired a new VA. Did a mistake, let them know. The mistakes didn't happen again. Did a new mistake, let them know. The new mistake didn't happen again. I thought that was normal. Hired another VA. No mistakes at all. So like eventually I'm just like learning new things. Like eventually all those different things like I thought were my norm. And probably like what I have now, I think is like amazing. And there's probably like a step above where like, I don't know, there might be employees that are basically business owners. Like imagine, like I think when you get to like the level of like Amazon, all the top people there, they're all founders, they're all CEOs, and they have their own company, they're business owners, but they want to go ahead and work for something that's even bigger. I think that's like the next level. But yeah.
It's like all part of the employee life cycle, you know what I mean? Like, you'll always start off with people, but like at the end of the day, mistakes are inherent within any employee, especially within roles which are heavily procedural. They're inherent, they're going to come, but yeah, 100% right. Like if you're paying someone to do a job and they keep making the same mistakes, like what's the thing? Like if you make the same mistake over and over again, like you're not learning. That just shows signs of just poor performance and everything. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it for you to be able to like keep reminding him and telling him. But it is what it is. Like it's the life cycle of employee. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it is what it is.
I agree. But yeah, we knocked through like a solid topic. I think this was a cool trend. Like we talked a lot about like economics, hiring, cool trend. Stuck on one topic, but it was like cool how we juggled around throughout the different topics within this one topic. Lots of topics that I want to still talk about that we'll save. I've got like an endless list and it just keeps building up. So it's cool.
Good.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Christian, I guess you could wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Episode 28. We're nearly at 30, man. What the hell? We're nearly at 30. I'll be very, very blunt with you right now. I didn't see us getting to 30. I didn't see us getting to 30. It's seamless.
Dude, I reckon, yeah, one, it's seamless. And like the pool, man. I think like, I don't want to sound too cocky, but like when I do something, I'm going to make it work. And I'm like, I feel like I have that thing where you're gonna feel bad flaking. Like Christian, if something happens,
trust me, I do.
Yeah, and like I have to be like that if I want to make things happen. And like people around me, as a result, like if they, for example, when my sales rep work with me, like they don't want to fuck things up. Like they make the numbers clear, and like I just emanate that. So when people work with me, there's a good chance it's going to work out. I don't want to come off as cocky, but like, yeah.
Because the strictness and discipline that you impose, the discipline in yourself to like want to work hard and want to get those results and achieve it. It's your own self-discipline. And yeah, you're right. When you're that self-disciplined and you're that focused and determined, you emanate that energy where it's like people working under you, people working with you will see that and be like, oh shit, like I can't let him down because like he's not going to be happy. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense, but you know what? Like, okay, we're going to stop before we start another 45 minutes. But thank you guys so much for listening. Episode 28.
Episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks, Christian, for wrapping it up. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.